Hello, everybody. Heather here, and I'm joined by a very special guest. This one dude. This is my husband, Tom. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. One of the things that Tom has been thinking about, one of the things that I've been encouraging him to think about is creating an online course.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da. And there's several reasons for this. One, I think he has built kind of the reputation and the authority online where people know what they would want to learn from him. He's built, a huge YouTube channel that has helped so many aspiring creators and other creators to level up their video and audio. Also, Tom is a professional teacher by trade.
Right.
Like this is what he's went to school for and has a career in, and I just think that it just makes sense. And the entrepreneur in me is really telling him that he's leaving money on the table, number one. But
she
also,
hates it when I leave money on the table.
I don't like it when you leave money on the table. But the other thing is, like, I really do feel like he can create something that people would truly get value from. And there's been, you've gotten feedback of requests and like questions of where's the course, how can I sign up for the class that you teach, and blah, blah, blah. So what is your overall impression about offering a course online?
Okay, having seen you go through it for the past few years, one, your course is amazing, and the people that you kind of associate with and learn from are great and very credible. I've also seen so many shysters out there and so many smoke and mirrors courses and stuff that's like, you're paying a lot of money for like kind of just getting a bad YouTube video and that's your course.
Yeah.
Obviously that's nothing that
Jake
that's nothing that I would want to make. That's nothing that Heather would make or let me make. What I really want is something concrete. So it's not so much theoretical. Like people need to feel a certain way, I think, when they're done to feel like they've gotten their money's worth. But I want it literally like, step by step. Like if the course is how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you follow these steps, you're going to end up with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at the end of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want for whatever the topic ends up being. And I also I want to lean into the fact that I am a teacher, because I think that is at a different angle and edge in a way. And I've seen other people develop their courses, like other YouTubers and stuff on their channels, and not to be too critical, but like as a teacher looking at them developing them, it's not that they're doing it wrong or they end up with a bad product or anything, but it's just like, oh my God, you guys are reinventing the wheel 10 times to get to like where you would go. But of course, like you haven't been a teacher for 10 years. Why would you understand like scaffolding and backwards lesson planning and all this stuff, which fits perfectly into something like a course?
Yeah.
I'd like to lean into that so that way the course content is quality, the end result is concrete, and people people really feel like they definitely got what they paid for.
Yeah. Here's what I would tell you as you're, beginning this this journey, and anyone else who's interested in
my notepad here.
in an online course is, I think if you already have an audience, I think it makes the whole process easier if you approach creating an online course from what is the thing that you can create to help your existing audience.
Right, what will serve the existing audience.
Because you can teach everything, of course. Like you have a whole academy.
Well, I mean, the ultimate goal is not just to have like one course, but to make a course and then make others. And eventually I would like to do a really like big, thorough, in-depth one on something, but I don't want to start there just because. Yeah, I want to start with like a medium thing.
Sure, yeah.
Not just the cheapest thing you could buy, but not this super expensive, massive investment.
$1,000 course.
Yeah, nothing like that. Just sort of like, here's a nice, comfortable level thing here. Looking at what I am interested and good at and want to teach, what other people want, and where those things overlap.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, for example, one of the things that people have been asking for a lot, because I do a lot of videos about setups and online streaming and video and audio, is they just keep saying, I want to take your class. And I'm like, what do you think my class is? If this is, I mean, like, legitimately, I'm like, if this is the video you're watching, what do you think, what do you mean when you say you want to take the class? Like, what do you want to do?
Like, what do you expect?
A graphic design project? Do you want to like learn how to do this on your own? The area where I'm hesitant is that it seems like people watch my channel and they like the way that things look.
Oh, for sure.
And they want to know how to make videos that look like that, which is very flattering and very cool. And I'm more than happy to teach that my concern is that there's already a lot of video courses, especially like YouTube video courses, level up your video courses, that kind of stuff, which maybe mine would just be a different flavor. And there's a lot of burger places, and you can always open a new burger place. But the thing that's been growing my channel a lot also is like podcasts and audio related stuff. And over the past year especially, I've gotten so much more experience in podcasting, both like by myself as a solo podcaster, with an in-person co-host, doing a video component, and doing a remote podcast. All of the things. And that's been a huge part of what's grown the channel. Talking to Bob from Creators Campfire podcast, her suggestion was like, what if it was the end result is somebody follows the instructions, at the end of it they have their first finished podcast episode. I really like that idea. I don't know if that's the best fit, but I could wrap my head around it.
There's a start, there's a finish, there's
it's a clear thing, and that would go into, there's a lot more than just like, well, you come up with your idea and then you hit record, but it goes into, there's audio basics, there's equipment basics,
right? It covers everything.
There's the platform you would need to set up. So also by the time you cover all that, it's not a $80 course or anything. Like, it's a couple $100.
Yeah.
So it's a good money making course. It gives people what they need because it's so confusing. Why should you pay for a service like Buzzsprout when you could do Anchor for free? It'd be nice. You can make a YouTube video about that, but it'd be nice to have an in-depth discussion that doesn't rely on quick jump cuts and quick like where you can go like, right, this is all the info you want to know about it. Or you could just skip over this section if you already have your thing, That was my favorite idea so far.
The podcast one.
The podcast one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
More so than the video one.
The video one seems to be, though, more what people are asking for.
Well, if you think that the podcast one is the way to go, and honestly, I think that there is a space.
I think that's the one I want to make. I don't know if that's the one people want to take.
The next step, if that's your question, is to get feedback.
The thing is, though, I don't know how to actually get feedback. Because you can run polls, you can ask people in the community, and the people who answer those are just going to say yes. It's like when... So, here's an example. Like, Peter, who I do one of my podcasts with, he has a YouTube channel with 440,000 subscribers. He's tried to incorporate personal things on it, like personal vlogs and stuff, and they just don't perform as well as his reviews, his tutorials, his stuff like that, which of course makes sense. When he does a poll where he's like, would you guys like to see more vlogs or do you want to see more tutorials?
It's yes.
It's like literally 92% yes, 8% no. And then he shows the video, and it's the worst performing video. So it's like the diehard people are going to want, yes, oh my gosh, I'm answering this poll because I want this. So I think it kind of needs to be something that is out there. Like, I've spent enough time in my comment section, making my videos, and in the other communities,
that you have
podcasting groups and subreddits and stuff. I'm like, okay, these are the questions I keep seeing popping up. These are the issues that people keep running into. The biggest issue for something like that, it's exactly like starting a YouTube channel. I'm planning to start a podcast next year. I'm getting together all my notes, and it's like, here, do this, 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 and your episode's done. Where you go from there is up to you, but like, this is going to be the thing right here. So that's where I think there's a more specific value. Because also, like, the tricky part with video stuff, I don't know how rambling you want this video to be, but whatever. People always go like, well, how do I get better at this? How do I do what you do? And half the time, honestly, the answer is practice.
Buy new equipment? Oh.
Yes, the answer could be like, you know what? You're not going to make a video that looks like mine with your phone. Period. I don't care if you have an iPhone 12 Pro Max Plus X or whatever. Yeah. It's just never going to happen.
iPhone X12 Plus.
That's where like the consulting comes in, because that's where someone can literally go, well, this is what I have, and I have
Here's
this corner,
budget,
and I can literally go like, turn your camera here, put it in that corner, plug it in that. Like, I can very much customize to their thing, but a lot of it really does come down to practice.
Okay, so here's where I think we can tie with the videos. It sounds like you're leaning towards the podcast course, but
I'm okay with being talked out of it.
I think it sounds great.
Okay, I couldn't get a read on.
Just ask me, bro. Babe, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Here's why I think it's a great idea. Here's where I really think that, just weighing the pros and cons between a video and an audio course. I think there's, like you said, a lot of courses on video already.
Yeah.
I think there's plenty of room in the audio space.
Yes.
And especially from your angle, where it's not about how do you make money. It's not about give me the, it's not about like audio engineering
Yeah.
or like sound design and stuff like that. It's more of like, you want to share your story through podcasts.
Okay, when I do a project with my students, right? If they're going to do a documentary project, my end result is I want them to be able to show us a 4-minute documentary. That means they're going to have to know some camera basics. That means they're going to have to know audio basics to do interviews. They're going to have to know how to film interviews. They're going to have to know different types of interviews. They're going to have to know royalty-free music. They're going to have to know how to do names on screen. And then we go all the way back, and day one is literally like, what is a documentary? And then we go through as they're working on it. Then we talk about how to do interviews, and I feel like this is that same thing. The end result is I want someone to have a podcast episode that they can literally click publish on.
I think this is a great audience to get feedback
Oh,
from.
yeah. This is a safe space.
Well, it's because, like you said, it's not going to be the whole, like, the people who respond to your feedback are the people who want it.
Yeah.
It's not your audience, you know what I mean? So, and there's a little overlap here.
Yeah.
So, if you have any feedback for Tom, let him know in the comments. Is there anything specific? Like,
I mean, if there's something missing, if you're thinking of like, Tom, why aren't you making this course that's obviously should be about this thing? Like, I'm just missing it. Tell me.
How do you feel after this conversation? I know it's kind of short.
I feel good knowing that you're on board with this idea, because then I just go through and break it down into sections. And yeah.
We will keep you updated. We'll see how this goes. Do we have a launch 2021 for sure?
But like early 2021.
There you go.
Yeah.
You heard it here
I want it out before the school year's over.
There you go. All right. So, give them feedback in the comments, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Yep. Bye.